There are no better words in the English language than the phrase "time for P Roach with the B Roach." Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. P Roach himself, Jacoby Shaddix.
What's up, Lou?
It's good to see you.
The intro's always so dope, dude, and it's so good to see you, man.
You came up with that, though. I have to have maybe when I see you on this tour again, maybe I'll have some P Roach with the B Roach shirts made for the crew to mop up with, you know.
Let's go.
So tell me how it's going back out there again. I saw the first leg of this thing, and it was a pretty amazing night.
Yeah, man. It's been a great, it was a leg. I mean, obviously leg one was banging. We had such a great time on that tour. And to come back and do another part of this tour is freaking awesome. You know, we wrapped up last year, and Ronnie and I were just sitting and we were just like, man, I think we should do another, run this around again. And so here we are, leg two, first night sold out, which was dope. Great way to start the tour. And ticket sales are freaking banging on this tour. It's so awesome. And it's a stacked bill. And it's great to be back out on the road, man. I missed it while I was home.
Is it a little bit easier this time in terms of COVID? Because last year you guys had to be super tight. It did lead to a very interesting moment. I was down in the photo pit ready to take pictures, but of course there's nobody backstage. And your crew, knowing I was there and knowing I collect guitar picks, actually came to the edge of the stage, and we did a touchless exchange of guitar picks, which I appreciated very much. Hopefully it's not that tight this time.
Oh, dude, it's like anything goes, man. I'm out there licking palms again. So it's good to be back and, you know, just not tripping on that stuff, man. It's like life is back to normal. It's freaking amazing. I'm stoked, man. It's like, I roll up to Chicago tomorrow. I'm going to see my son. He's pulling up. He's bringing all his friends out to the show. I got the St. Ambrose Bees college lacrosse team going to come mosh in the pit. So it's going to go off.
How old is your boy now?
He's 20. He's 20 years old, man. So, you know, life keeps happening, man. It just keeps on, time keeps on spinning, dude. Trips me out.
Now, are you the cool dad, or do you still embarrass the crap out of him just by being his dad?
Oh, I mean, it's a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's, oh, I love you, my bubbers. You know, he'll get up there and he'd be playing on lacrosse field. And I'm like, oh, your daddy loves you so much, son. And he's like, you know, it's great, dude. Come on.
Can I give you a tip on how to embarrass him really good?
Oh, yeah. Give it to me.
Walk up to him, but only when he's in front of his friends. And that sounds like you're going to get the op on the tour. Oh, and use slightly outdated slang and use it incorrectly and really loud. YOLO, dogs.
YOLO, dogs. What's up? What's Gucci?
There you go. Yeah. Now you do that and you'll be in for some fun. Now he might not talk to you for 6 or 7 months, but
it's all right, man. We'll be all right. We'll get through it.
Well, through the course of this tour, you've got the busted out, big, huge, oh my God, everything but the kitchen sink version of Ego Trip coming out. So tell me all about that. Tell me everything that's in there. We'll come back to the single in a moment, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening there. So if you would, please spill.
Yeah, man. So just kind of, this is the second phase of pushing the record. Since we are the record company, we're looking at, you know, how do we give this album more life? How do we let the fans go deeper into the journey of what we've done? And so the deluxe version's got a couple extra songs that have not been released. We got a track called Spotlight that's coming out. We did that one was kind of one of the heavier tracks that didn't actually make the record. And you know, when it came time to do, you know, drop this special edition, we're like, we got to put this on here, something different for the fans to dive into. And we know that, you know, is who we've been throughout the years. There's a lot of different faces of who Papa Roach is. And we know that we have a large core of our fan base that loves to hear the heavy P Roach. And so we had to drop that into there for him. Plus then it's like, we dropped an acoustic version of No Apologies in there as well. And I got to tell you, dude, it's like the vinyl itself it's freaking cool, man. It's like fold out. It's got the roller coaster Ego Trip thing that like comes out 3D at you. And it's also got the 7-inch vinyl inside of it as well with the added bonus tracks. And actually, can I go? I'll go grab one real quick. I want to grab
Oh
one.
yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
be back in a second.
Bum 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 bum.
Oh yeah, and we're back,
bum.
ladies and gentlemen. So we got it right here, right? Big old banger, Ego Trip. I'll set one of these aside for you, dude.
Oh yeah, well y'all got to sign it. But you got to sign it to me. You got to personalize it, please. Yeah.
And then we go into the inside, and then we got that.
Oh man.
Ego Trip roller coaster rocking for you. Oh, and then if we go inside, just take you a little look see around the house. So pull this bad boy out. So we got kind of the inlay piece of the map of the Ego Trip Park, all the lyrics and such.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then I got the vinyl right here. Let's pull this little bad boy out. Oh, just a little bit of flamboyant yellowish orange marble, which is cool.
Oh, that's badass. Hey, you may or may not know the font, the lettering used for that. Who did that? Did somebody create that especially for the album?
So our friend Darren Craig, we've been working with him for some years now. He's done the creative direction for the album artwork for the last 3 albums, and so Darren Craig came with this, and we just kind of like that theme park kind of old vibe for it, and so there it is.
Oh, that's I'll tell you what, and this gives us a bit more insight on why you can put the audio logistics aside for I like vinyl better, it sounds warmer kind of thing. I don't like digital as much, but you can't compare holding an album, a full LP, and just like going through it and being able to do stuff like this.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's more.
Oh,
so we got here.
Keep it coming.
This is the 7-inch right here. This is this one right here is Kill the Noise acoustic and Dying to Believe acoustic on this one.
And let me see the label on that.
So this is boom, this side, and then coming through. I'll pull this guy out right here. We got the little 7-inch banger.
Oh, that is sweet.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we call them 7. I call them 7 inches, but they're 45.
Yeah. And, when you first get something like this, do they send like a test version of it first?
Yeah. So I got the test prints at the house, which was cool. It's it's just that process that we do, and it's just so cool, man. And once the full album version came, I was just like, kids gather around. We got to do this. And it's so funny because my wife's sitting in there and I'm like opening up this deluxe stuff and she's so unimpressed. I'm just like, but babe, you don't get it. And I think that's what's cool about my wife is that she just doesn't get it. And it's cool. She just off in her own world,
Is she not like a music geek like the rest of us?
No, she is not. She's like, I had her. She's the person that doesn't know any band members' names, any songs that relate to a band. Like she just likes what she likes and she's off to doing her own thing, and I think that balance of dynamic, I think, works for us.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same sort of thing. The lovely Mrs. Brutus, like she was very excited when I brought her to meet Phil Collins.
Oh yeah.
But when I talk about Papa Roach or Slipknot or Avatar, she's like, what? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And then, of course, I've got family members I have to explain. No, none of these people are actually Satan or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
So, well, you know what? I have to think, even with all the albums that you guys have done through the years, when you get this stuff in hand the first time, it just can't get old. That's that 5-year-old on Christmas morning feel, right?
Absolutely. It's so special, man. And it's especially this time around, being the label, it just makes it, it's like I look on the back and it's like New Noise Records, and we got our little logo right there. And I'm like, it really is special, man. And so this is kind of the second phase of pushing the album. And we got our track, Cut the Line, featuring Beartooth, that's dropping right now. And I'm so stoked to just have Caleb on a track. in my opinion, he's one of the real ones that have come up in this younger generation of metal and rock.
And he's not just a screamer, like he can sing. He's
Oh
got
yeah,
a dynamic range that's pretty impressive.
absolutely, man. I as when it came time to like pick a guest vocalist, he was like top of the list. And I was like, we got to hit him up. We'll see if he's down. I don't know. Cause sometimes, when we get people on guest tracks, it's like, is the timing right with their release schedule and our release schedule, and everything just lined up. And he's just such a good dude. I love his personality. I love his persona on stage, who he is. And there's an authenticity about him that I really fit in line with, and I like how he approaches his music, and I love how he approaches the stage. I just saw on his Instagram page, he posted this thing. It's like, people ask me how I get ready for tour, and it's him in his studio with his mic, and he's singing along to his music, going off like he's playing in front of 30,000 people. And I'm like, oh, he's not the only one. It's like, you got to get ready for this stuff, man. And so I love that dude through and through, man. He's solid people.
Technically, how did it work? Did you send him a session or something, or
Yep.
what happened?
So hit him up. He was on board instantly. So we just sent him the files, and we just told him, we're like, dude, go ham. Have as much fun as you want on this track. Cut as many parts, and then we'll kind of deduce it down to what we're going to use. And he did that. And then he got in the studio with our producer, Colin, as well, and kind of put a couple extra little final touches on it. And so, I open the track. He takes the first verse. We join up on the choruses. And then he wrote, there was the bridge on the album version of the song was wide open. Yeah. And it was intended to have a guest vocalist at some point, so I'm just going to leave this wide open. And when we get a guest on it, they can just take it. And so he wrote his part for the bridge, and it's fire. He really understood the message of the track and put something really meaningful into it.
Is there anything coming up this year that you're aware of yet where you'll be together, where there might be a stage where you guys can bring them out and do this?
We're actively trying to figure out when we can do that, because it has to happen. And, at some point in our careers, we have to do a tour of P Roach and Beartooth. It just feels like it needs to be something that happens. And so someday that'll happen, but definitely getting on stage together, it's in the works. And I think my head will explode.
So back to the album package. And, you mentioned seeing your label artwork and the stuff. Do you ever get like an icy grip of panic when you first look at it, thinking, man, I hope we didn't spell anybody's name wrong. I hope that's, have you ever had a mistake make it to an album?
We have had mistakes make it to the record. This time around, we got it perfect. We went through it fine tooth comb multiple times over to make sure everything, crossed T's, dotted all the I's. And especially when this is our maiden voyage as a label, it's like, let's really take time and care into this. And so multiple sets of eyes had to be put on this thing to make it right.
And when you're reviewing stuff like that, I would imagine it's not initially physical stuff. Are you just getting these massive files Dropbox to you? How does that end of it work?
Yeah, that's coming through just in for instance, the thank yous or all the lyrics and stuff like that. That's just straight Word docs, and I'm just going through fine tooth comb, making sure all the lyrics are right. And sometimes it's a little mind numbing, but it's you got to do it, because it's these things are forever, right? And you want it to be correct. And, I don't want to have the wrong lyrics in the album artwork. That would just be so tacky. But yeah, man, it's one of those things that I rely on, not only myself, but my team, because there's stuff that gets past me too. I'm like, oh shit, I did screw that up.
Have you ever hidden anything in a record, either audio wise or visually, in any of the packaging? And I'll give it, for instance, to anybody who might be listening or watching this and wondering what I mean. There have been bands in the past who, when they released vinyl, you get to the inside track where the music is run out, And sometimes when you look at an album, there's like lettering there, and it's usually like coding from the printing plant or something.
Yeah.
But bands have sometimes snuck messages in there. And of course, groups like Pink Floyd have put backwards masking and all this stuff. Has Papa Roach ever hidden anything anywhere in a song or a album package?
So on our first album, Infest, we, at the end of the record, if you let it play like 15 minutes, I'd say, we had a hidden track. That was kind of the era back then. We were putting hidden tracks on records, and it was a track called Tightrope. And it's just this totally like, I guess reggae kind of dub version of a rock track that we wrote previously and wanted to do something really different to it. And it's kind of become this like cult classic amongst our fans through the years. We actually did a re-record on the 20th anniversary of Infest of that track Tightrope. And so fans can go check that out on our Spotify page. And then on our album Getting Away with Murder, this was at a point in time in our career when it was like kind of uncertain. The album had gotten shelved for quite some time, and we got dropped by who was it? I can't remember. Dropped by Universal it was DreamWorks folded, and then we ended up at Geffen, and Geffen just wasn't sure what they were going to do with us, and so the album was shelved, and we were tripping. And then finally they decided, we're going to push this record. Well, in the album artwork, there's a picture of us, and it's by a pool.
Yeah.
And we wrote into it, and you can't really see it at all. We made it pretty like, I guess I'll have to go back and look at it, but we wrote 6 million albums sold worldwide. We just put like this statement in there, like we were hoping, or I guess trying to put something out there in the cosmos for us. And I got to tell you, we started from scratch again on that record, and we ended up selling 1.5 million records in the United States. And now, worldwide, it's got to be above 2 million albums. And so, hey, we didn't reach 6, but 2 will do, baby. And especially at a point in time in our career when the industry kind of it just wasn't happening for us. And for us to turn around and sell that amount of records, it was like such a mega victory for our band that it was a good time. And I look back on that and I'm like, I'm glad we, pulled our bootstraps up. Yeah, absolutely, man. And now we got classics off that record. Getting Away with Murder and Scars, those 2 tracks are staple songs in the P Roach catalog.
Well, I couldn't be happier for you. Just in the short run with the this expanded ego trip, and I can't wait to actually open it up in my own face and not have it be on a camera. But also for the long run, you know how much I've loved you guys all these years, and you've always treated me and the show great, and boy, it means a lot. And just glad to see you living, thriving, and surviving.
It's good to see you too, man. And I always appreciate the kind words, man. It's like, it's good to still be doing it, and it's good to still be passionate about it. And it's dope to see people showing up to these shows in droves to rock with us, man. It's like so validating.
It's a great night, and the cross-pollination that can happen some nights between all of the acts is spectacular. So I'll find a date to make this late, because I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah, dude, shoot me a text and let me know where you're going to come out, dude, and I'll get you sorted out, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends of the revolution, you have witnessed the miracle of the P Roach with the B Roach.
Let's go.